Welcome back to Building Zion. This is Marlene, and I have another little gospel pearl for you. So just as a reminder, this is not a come follow me study. These are just little things that I have learned that I want to share with you, and they might come from all different places. So this week I want to share with you something that came from a new era. And that was a while ago because now it's the For Strength of Youth magazine. So let's go over to the Gospel Library app, and we're going to click on magazines and then click on For the Strength of Youth. And scroll all the way to the bottom where it says New Era. And then we're going to click on 2014 and January. And then scroll down to where it says Bridle All Your Passions. Okay, so this is something that I have been thinking about lately. And I've been thinking about kind of the difference between how do you bridle a passion and not let something either become an addiction, or you say, oh, I don't want it to be an addiction. I don't want to be like overcome by it. I'm just going to forget about it and throw it out. I'm just not even going to do it. Of course, the bad things, the things that cause us harm, we want to stop doing those things. Those things just can become addictive. They can be a problem in our lives. There are a lot of things that we do that we just get really excited about. Things that we have big interests in, big talents in, but we get like really focused on them. And that's then all we want to do. That's all we want to think about. How do we control that? How do we keep that in check? Still develop that talent, still develop that interest without it actually kind of becoming an addiction. I know for much of my life, there have been several things that I have been concerned about them becoming addictions, like, interests. And so there were several times when I said, whoa, I don't want that to be an addiction. I don't want it to run my life. I'm just not going to do it anymore. Well, that's obviously not the answer. So there's a really good little article in the New Era, and I thought I would share it with you. Okay, so it's called Bridle All Your Passions from January 2014. And let's just click on this graphic here. And let's see, I think we can zoom in on it. Yes, we can. Okay. So it shows, first of all, what the pieces of a bridle are. We'll just kind of look at those. So there's a crown piece that goes over the head and the ears, and it says that it helps keep the bridle in place. Then below that are the reins. Contact to the bridle and are held by the rider. So really, we would be the rider. We would be the one holding on to this. Then underneath that at the bottom there is the throat latch. Keeps the bridle from sliding forward over the head. Then above that we have the cheek piece. Helps connect other pieces of the bridle. Then over to the right there it says the bit. Helps control movement and sets in the bars a sensitive area between the horse's teeth. Then all the way at the top, the brow band keeps the bridle from sliding back over the head and onto the neck. Okay, now let's scroll over here. We're just going to look at facts about bridles. An animal's head has more sensitive nerves than just about any other part of the body, making it easier to train and control the animal by moving the bridle. Bridles and harnesses were integral in the domestication of donkeys, camels, and horses thousands of years ago. The development and use of bridles predates any recorded history, perhaps by thousands of years. For instance, artwork from Egypt, Assyria, and other ancient civilizations shows horses and other animals wearing sophisticated bridles, and artifacts such as metal bits dating back to these and much earlier times have been found. So now you might be thinking, what on earth does that have to do with me? We don't wear things like that. We don't want other people to put things like that on us and control us. But we do it to animals. And so it doesn't say let other people bridle you. It says that we need to learn to bridle ourselves, learn how to control ourselves. And of course, we're not going to put like gear on ourselves, but it's a representation, just like putting on the armor of God. We're not literally putting on helmets and breastplates and girdles and things, but those are representations of things that then help us to remember God and to be close to Him. Okay, let's scroll down and look at this quote by Elder Bednar. He says, every appetite, desire, propensity, and impulse of the natural man may be overcome by and through the atonement of Jesus Christ. Now I know in my past self this would mean, all these propensities, these desires of man. That means if they are overcome by the atonement of Jesus Christ, that means they're not good. Lots of things that I shouldn't be doing. Even if they weren't bad, they were good things. They were really causing me to feel addicted. I was really drawn into them. But let's keep reading. We are here on the earth to develop godlike qualities and to bridle all of the passions of the flesh. Alma counseled his son Shiblon to bridle all his passions, that he may be filled with love. Significantly disciplining the natural man in each of us makes possible a richer, a deeper, and a more enduring love of God and His children. Love increases through righteous restraint and decreases through impulsive indulgence. So we're not being asked to get rid of those things, those desires, those passions of ours. We're just being asked to learn how to be in control of them. And crazy enough, being in control of them means that we will develop greater love. Wow, that's crazy. Greater love, I'm sure, for our Heavenly Father and for those around us. We have been asked to develop godlike talents, and our passions are reflections of those godlike talents. Of course, our righteous passions. Okay, let's scroll over to the side here. Let's see, it says, Alma 38:12, see that you bridle all your passions, that ye may be filled with love. Then what can we learn? Okay, try to scroll in a little bit. A bridle affects an area of sensitivity. Bridling our passions means controlling emotions and desires, which people can feel sensitive about because the natural man wants them to have free rein. But if we overcome our sensitivities, we can develop self-discipline. It is so easy. Our passions, man, we just want to let them run free. And there are many voices in the world that say you need to let your passions just run free. That's how you're a true artist. That's how you're a true visionary. But then many things get sacrificed because of it. Not only maybe our own health, but our relationships with other people, our own spirituality. A lot of things get sacrificed because we just let our passions run free. A bridle is placed on animals that are of great use. We are told to bridle all our passions, not to suppress or kill our passions. Controlling our emotions and desires does not mean to stamp all of them out because they are all bad. Just as we bridle animals because they are useful and helpful, we bridle our passions so that we can control them and allow them to serve a higher purpose. I have heard, not only from myself, but from other people, well, if I can't just let myself be free, then I might as well not do it. Or I know I just can't control it, and so might as well not do it. Well, we need to learn to control it because, again, these are godlike characteristics. These are the talents that God has given us. And it's actually godly that we are having such passion about them. Don't you think that He has such great passion about certain things? Namely, Yes, namely me, but I mean namely us, namely his children. His children are his work and his glory, so he is super passionate about us, but he has to bridle his passions in regarding to us, and he has to maintain the self-control, the laws and covenants that he has made with us. He can't just run amok and be like, yes, you can have and do whatever you want, or whatever it is that his passion says toward us. Probably also doing things in the right timing. You know, if he gets too impatient because he gets too excited about something, everything will just go out the window. A bridle helps to tame and train. Just as wild animals can be hostile, unpredictable, and destructive, so can our passions and emotions be if left unchecked. When we tame our emotions, we can train them and redirect them in positive ways to fulfill a greater purpose than they ever could if we simply allowed them to run wild. A bridle helps to direct. The reins attached to a bridle help us direct an animal in the way we would like it to go. Similarly, we can challenge some strong emotions into good works or other appropriate outlets in order for us to become better people and of greater service. By bridling our passions, we can be filled with love, one of the highest and greatest emotions, and become more like our Heavenly Father and Jesus. So this really is an example of how our talents and passions can be multiplied, just like in the parable of the talents. Or they can be squandered, either because we left them behind, we forgot about them, or we used them in the wrong way and just let them run amok, and then they really didn't produce and multiply in the way that they should have. So our talents can become a big blessing for us, or they can even become a big curse for us. It just depends on how we choose to use them and how we choose to bridle them. So this is my thought. This is my gospel pearl for this week, learning how to bridle our talents and how to channel all of those wonderful emotions and excitement and passions into wonderful things that grow into great God-given talents. All right, have a great week, you guys. Bye.